guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and we are in the middle of a decluttering series. I am currently working my way through the house and trying to declutter literally every single area because I'm just tired of the clutter. I'm ready to have less things, which means less cleaning and less energy towards having to take care of everything. So the goal today is to tackle my daughter's room. If you guys been here for a while, you know she is my messy child. She always has a disaster in there. And I'm excited because I finally ordered this organizer for her stuffed animals. Stuffed animals are a problem. She loves all of them. So I'm trying to let her hold on to all of them, but just find a way to organize them so they're not just piled up on top of her bed. So that is the goal today. We are gonna be decluttering, organizing, and getting her room back in order. I am super excited about this. I hope you guys are ready for some serious decluttering motivation. Make sure y'all check out my playlist that I have linked in the cards. It is all the decluttering that I have done so far, and there is so much more to come. So make sure you guys are subscribed. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into it. So this is what we are working with. All those stuffed animals. She did clean the other day, which is why her floor isn't a complete disaster, but y'all know how 10-year-olds clean. They just shove stuff everywhere. So she has tons of clutter on top of the dressers. And then we also need to tackle this closet. Yeah, it's a mess. So let's go ahead and get it done. Also, I pulled out her sheets and stuff the other day when I was going through all of our bedding and towels and stuff. So I am going to be putting these on her bed and washing her current sheets because yeah, those need to be washed. I am not going to lie. I slack on washing her bedding because look at all the stuff I have to take off of her bed in order to get to her sheets. So that's why I told her we've got to get this organized. We have a ginormous sloth. I mean, look at this thing, you guys. I told her we might have to get rid of him. If I can't get all of those off of her bed, this might just have to be the one that we let go because it's so big. It literally takes up the space of more than a full-size adult. So there's just no place to put it. And I told her, like, she has a million other stuffed animals. So, you know, we might have to part away with one, but we'll see. We'll see what we can figure out in here and see if we can make it fit. All right, you guys, who is ready to start working that decluttering muscle? If you know, then you know. I have mentioned before that decluttering is definitely difficult, but the more you do it, the easier it does get. I promise you. So today we are once again practicing using our decluttering muscle and working on my daughter's room, which you guys, I definitely saved this for later in my decluttering process because I knew it was going to be such a big job. So today I'm going to be sharing some decluttering tips and tricks that might help you guys out while you're getting started on your journey, just in case you are just starting off and feeling a bit overwhelmed, because I know it can feel super overwhelming. So tip number one is going to be starting small. I have mentioned this before and I'll say it again. Just start in one little area. If it's a closet, a drawer, just focus on doing one little thing and just work out that decluttering muscle. And it really does build your confidence to tackle bigger and bigger messes around your house. And it doesn't matter how long it takes you to declutter. You guys, we have forever to get it done. So don't get yourself all worked up and overwhelmed trying to tackle too much at one time. So give yourself some grace, work on smaller areas, and I would definitely recommend starting in an area where you don't feel super attached. So, you know, like in here, this is my daughter's room. I'm not really attached to her things, obviously, but I know that my daughter is. So I'm a little bit better at decluttering her space because I'm more level-headed and I'm not attached to things. But when you're doing a space that you're really attached to, it is a little bit more overwhelming and it's hard because we do grow attachments to our things. But I want you guys to kind of keep in the back of your mind that, you know, yes, you have these memories, but you also don't want these memories and the past to bring you down. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed and like you have too much in your house, then it's probably a sign that it's time to let some things go. And it's okay to hold those memories in your heart instead of tangibly. So I just want to encourage you to try to let go of some things, even if you do have those attachments. And it's okay to cry and feel overwhelmed during this process because it can be overwhelming, but it is all normal. You will work through it. You guys, when I was decluttering the file box, I am not gonna lie, this was my last video, I started crying. Like, it was really emotional for me because not that I was attached to our bills, but whenever I saw that, you know, these paperworks were from 2008, 2009, it's just kind of like a flood of emotions over you. Like, you just remember everything you were doing that year or why you had that bill, like, especially because it was so long ago and you just kind of forget about some of the smaller things. So believe me, I know the struggle, like going through things, especially when they hold attachments and feelings towards them. It is hard, but we are in this together. We can do it. I hope to encourage you to tackle some areas in your house. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. I am so happy that you're here. I have been really excited to get started on this decluttering process for 2023. I have been decluttering for quite some time and I want to be minimal, not a minimalistic, but just more minimal. And I feel like when you're decluttering, that's kind of like something you need to figure out for you. There are some people that love to live in a space that's super minimal, and that's great for them. But for others, they don't want to be that minimal, and that's okay. You have to find that happy medium where you feel your best. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I don't want to be super minimal, but I just want to be a more minimalist than I am. I want everything to have a home and a place and not feel like I have clutter on every surface of my home. So as you guys can see, I have already pulled out everything from underneath my daughter's bed, and now I'm pulling out all of the junk that was underneath her dresser. You guys, she is a paper hoarder. So every time I check the mail, if there's a magazine in there, she wants to keep it because she loves looking at the pictures. And, you know, I'm not following behind her to see like what she's doing with the magazines or if she even like disposes of them. Well, needless to say, she is not disposing of them. She is like cutting them up, tearing them apart, piling them in her dresser, under her bed. Like, they're just everywhere. So it was really good to get in here and get the trash out. I have to admit, this was so satisfying because there was just so much junk in here. And I know I'm going to get those negative Nancys that are like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you let your daughter let her room get this messy. But you know what? To each their own. Like I said, we all have to do what's best for us. And I am not going to hover over my children every day and make sure their room is spotless, but I do make them clean their room weekly. I'm just not super particular on how extremely deep they clean their room, but they do have to clean it so I can at least vacuum.
Oh my goodness, you guys. I don't know if this is like hardened slime or what, but it is not coming off of the dresser.
But like I was saying, I am not really like super tough on them with cleaning their rooms. I just want them to tidy it up a bit. I do make them do a deeper clean probably once every month or so. And then other times I let the mess pile up, especially in my daughter's room right here, Adrian. She is my messy child, and you know, YouTube is a business, you guys. So I will let her room get a little bit messier than usual so I can film a really good cleaning video for you guys. So don't come at me about the mess. I already know it's crazy. So the goal of today was, of course, to get all of the stuffed animals off of her bed and organize that, get that decluttered. But I really wanted to go through all of her drawers because, like I said, I love to give my kids' rooms a mother's touch and do a much deeper cleaning than obviously the kids do. So I wanted to go through all of her drawers, of course, and get the junk out, the clutter, but I also wanted to reorganize her clothes because I do try to do the KonMari method. I have taught the kids how to do it, and for the most part they try to keep up with it, but you know, they're not the greatest at it. So about I'd say every 6 months or so, I'll come in and redo their clothes and like make it better. So that's what I'm gonna do as well after I get done getting all the trash out of her room. I'm also going to reorganize her clothes, go through them, make sure there's no clothes that don't fit her anymore or that have holes in them. Just try to do an overall declutter. So I'm really glad that I did this because she had a lot of stuff that just didn't fit her anymore. And then I actually ended up coming in about a week later on my vlogging channel. I did vlog it, but I went ahead and swapped out all of her hangers because she is now 10 years old and a lot of her clothes don't no longer fit on the little kid hangers. They're often like falling off. And I know that's a lot of the reason why her closet gets so unorganized, because it's really hard for her to hang her clothes up because they're always falling off of the hanger. So I finally got her the adult size hangers and I swapped out all the hangers for her, and she has been doing so good at keeping her room clean. I have did this about a week ago and her room is still spotless. She was so thankful. Like, that is one thing that I really love. Like, whenever I do get into the kids' rooms and do a deep clean, they are so appreciative. They're always thanking me and they're like, "I promise, Mom, I'm gonna try to keep it this clean forever." Like, it's just really sweet and it makes all of the hard work pay off. So it was just really nice because she was so excited when she came home and saw how clean her room was. And now she's been making her bed and folding her blankets and just keeping everything super nice and tidy. So I am really proud of her. Thankfully, I had a bunch of little bins lying around the house because I've been doing so much decluttering and I really gotten rid of a lot of stuff where I had a bunch of like little bins left over. So it worked out perfectly. I was able to repurpose some of the bins that I had in other areas and put them in her drawer. That way she could organize her fidgets. She's not much for like bigger toys. Like, she doesn't really play with too many toys, but she loves her fidgets and mochis. And they're all really tiny, so it's easy to, have them all over the place. So these little bins really helped organize everything for her, and I feel like it makes it better because she can see everything. She knows exactly where it's at. Everything has a home. So she's been doing great at just keeping everything in its new spot, its new home. So it's been working out great. If you guys also have kids that love fidgets, highly recommend getting some of these little bins. Most of these I picked up from either Walmart or the Dollar Tree. They're super affordable and they really help organize all of those smaller pieces. Now that I went through her drawers and her dresser, I wanted to go through all of the books that she had. Most of the books are in my boys' shared bedroom, which I need to tackle their room soon. That's coming in a future video. And one of the main things in their bedroom that I want to go through are their book collection. We have so many books, you guys, like tons and tons of books. I've went through them before and donated a bit, but I really need to go through it again and donate a lot more because we just have way too many. And I feel like when you have too much of anything, it makes it harder to, for one, keep track of what you have, and for two, like want to actually go over there and use them because it's overwhelming. So I feel like my kids have way too many books. They don't know what we have. and they're just kind of cluttered inside of bins. So that's my next big job I want to do, is go through our books and maybe get something that organizes them in a fashion where we can like see them. Maybe a book display, or I'm not sure yet. I'm still kind of trying to get some ideas on what I want to do for the books, but I'm thinking some sort of organizer in the boys' bedroom to help display the books and just get rid of a bunch of them that we no longer really need or use. So that is on the agenda, but Adrienne did have a lot of books in her bedroom, so the ones that she had, I went ahead and went through and I donated a bunch out of her bedroom, which was really nice.
So we have these nice and organized. We have her fidgets together, all of her mochis in a bag, her jewelry in the back one. And then in here I put all of her like notebooks and other books that aren't like reading books, more important like school books, binders, and then I have a little container for her pencils. She did have scissors up here. We are taking those back downstairs because Ethan has been getting a hold of those. So we want to make sure those are picked up. That is so much better. I wiped down the top. It's dust free. So now we're gonna go ahead and go through her clothes and reorganize it. Oh, we have another drawer of junk. Let's go through this first.
A tip that I heard about decluttering that really stuck with me and resonated was focus on what you're gaining rather than what you're losing. So whenever you're getting rid of things, instead of thinking like, oh my goodness, like this is how much money I spent on this is how much stuff I'm like wasting, whatever you might be thinking, just remember what you're gaining. You're gaining freedom, peace, space. You're getting your energy back. Everything that you own, it robs you of your energy and space because it takes time for you to organize it, to put it back into place, to clean it, dust it. Like, it is a trade-off. Just think you are gaining so much more than what you're losing. And another thing I like to tell myself is I got my money's worth out of it. So, you know, I especially struggled with the money aspect of it because back quite a few years ago, me and my husband did not have very much money. We were very much on a very strict budget, and everything that we bought, it was strategic. Like, we had to think long and hard before we brought anything into our home. And I feel like because we had times where we really struggled, it really makes me think twice before I get rid of things, because I'm like, oh my goodness, will I use it again? Like, I spent this much money on it. I don't want to throw it away. But now that, you know, time has really taught me that, for one, I need to be more mindful of the things I bring into my home. But for two, that, you know, I got my money's worth. I used it up to its full potential. If it's a clothing item or, you know, whatever it might be. If I used it and I enjoyed it and I just don't use it anymore, then I got my money's worth. And it just kind of makes me feel a bit better knowing, like, okay, I used it, I loved it, but I don't need it anymore. So I'm either going to donate it to someone who can use it, or if it's, you know, broken and nasty, then it's just time to let it go and I got my money's worth. So I hope that resonates with some of you guys on just making you feel a bit better when you let things go, because I know that can really be a huge struggle.
Waking up in my cold sweat, feel like I am deep in debt without you. I'm sitting up in my lonely bed, wondering what I just said to you.
I have now went through her leggings and shorts, got rid of the ones that no longer fit her or might have had holes in them. I folded them nice and neat. I have to admit my KonMari folding method is still being critiqued. I'm not the greatest at it, but I'm definitely trying and getting better and better the more I do it. And you guys, it is an amazing folding method to save you space. Like, it really does help the drawers look so much more nice and neat. The kids can get to their things, they can see what they have, and it saves so much space in the drawer, and you're not like digging through and trying to find what you're looking for. So I definitely recommend taking the extra time and folding it in the KonMari method. You can actually YouTube videos, it'll show you how to fold different items. So definitely recommend, because if you're like me, you really struggle with trying to get the folding right, but it doesn't have to be perfect as long as, you know, you're folding it up nice and small and compact. This nightstand was so disgusting. Not only covered in trash, but you guys, she made a mess with her wax melt. We do have like a Scentsy wax melt right here. She was so excited to get it. So my sister sells Scentsy, and while we were visiting them in Virginia, she gave her her very own wax melt. And so she was so excited to put it in her room, but y'all, she must have like knocked it or something, because the wax is all over the nightstand. I mean, it's not a big deal. These nightstands are super old. This is actually the furniture that we had when me and my husband first got together. It was our very first bedroom set that we ever bought, so it's pretty old. It's held in there for a long time, but yeah, she had quite the mess on here, but I just wiped it down as best as I could. And then we're also going to be cleaning out the drawers because, yeah, you guessed it, they're full of trash too.
Did it all for you. It's all for you. It's all for you. It's all for you. Nights.
Oh my goodness, you guys. Every single drawer I pull open, I'm just like, more trash. She is the trash collector. So let's go through this.
'Cause it ain't enough for two, and it's all for you. It's all for you. It's all for you. It's all for you. I did it all for you.
So for those of you that have been here for a while, you know that not only my husband, but also my son and my daughter Adrian all love Pokemon. My husband is a huge collector, and he has gotten Austin and Adrian into collecting as well. So this nightstand has tons of Pokemon in there, which thankfully the last time I decluttered Adrian's room, I organized them into the little tin containers, and she has kept them pretty tidy since then. So she's doing a good job keeping her Pokemon all together. So I didn't have to reorganize that, but this nightstand, like the two bottom drawers are basically nothing but Pokemon. So I am happy that I didn't have to reorganize all of that once again.
So you don't feel the cold, and it's all for you. It's all for you. It's all for you. It's all for you. I did it all for you. It's all for you. It's all for you. It's all for you.
So in here, any Scentsy's that I find, I'm going to put in here because I know she has a couple. All of her little Shopkins, and this is like bracelets and hair clips, stuff like that. These should be Pokemon. Let's see. Okay, we have Pokemon, plus she crammed some other stuff in here. Oh my goodness, you guys. Okay, let's go through this.
Say something I don't know. I wanna know you better. The way that you talk to me, the way that you make me feel. I don't know if you're real. I wanna put you in that spotlight, looking at you all night. Put you in that spotlight. Oh, you make me feel right. Wanna look at you all night. Put you in that spotlight. Oh, you know you're beautiful. You know you're beautiful, and it's like you're untouchable, like you're untouchable. Don't you know?
Now that the nightstand is nice and organized, it was time to clean underneath here, and I started pulling some stuff out, and then I realized, oh my goodness, there's way too much under here. So I went ahead and just moved the nightstand out of the way. That way I could do a full-on deep clean and vacuum underneath of here, because yeah, it definitely needed it.
What are you doing to me? I think I'm going crazy. Oh, I just want you now. I wanna hold you close. Don't wanna take it slow. Oh, I just want you now.
It's so funny. Adrienne has been asking for me to buy her some more pencils for school because she's like, I don't have any pencils. And you guys, by the time I got done organizing her room, she has a full little bin of pencils, tons of pencils. So I no longer need to buy her pencils. They were just hidden in all the crevices of her room.
You're beautiful, and it's like you're untouchable, like you're untouchable. Don't you know?
Y'all know that I recently got this Dyson for Christmas. My husband bought it for me, and I just want to update y'all that I am loving it. Like, absolutely love it. I just figured out that the attachment for the floor, like it has a special attachment for hard floors. It has this green light on it, and it is mind-blowing. Y'all, I could not believe I switched on the green light and started vacuuming with it. It shows literally all the hidden crumbs that your eyes do not see. Like, it is so shocking. It's probably my favorite feature about the Dyson vacuum, because I feel like I'm getting such a deeper clean because now I can see everything that's on the floor, when other times, like, I would just skip over, like I would look at the floor and be like, oh, it's not dirty over there, and just, you know, go to a different area. You would not believe how much dust and crumbs are on the floor, like, and that green light just highlights it all. It's a really cool feature. The next time I use it, I'll have to like get a close-up so you guys can see what I'm talking about, because yeah, I was mind blown. And my pug Yoda loves that feature too, because y'all know he loves chasing the light on the vacuum. And the regular setting on the Dyson, like, there's no light on it, but the hardwood floor one does have a light, and he chases the vacuum the entire time. It's hilarious.
Didn't know I missed this passion in life. Now I'm addicted somehow. Let me tell you.
It is now time to move on to the closet, which was a hot mess. There was things hidden in all the corners, like little surprises. So I'm just going through, hanging up any clean clothes that were on the floor. And then, like I said, I am going to go through it a little bit, pull out anything that doesn't fit her anymore. I have her go through her t-shirts later, like whenever she comes home. But there was just some that I was like, okay, I know she doesn't wear these. So I did get rid of a few. And then I am going to be finally going through her stuffed animals and showing you guys the new organizer that I bought for them. I really struggled with what I wanted to do. Like, a ton of y'all were mentioning the animal zoo. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a big stand, and it has like these elastic bands on it, and you can stuff it full of stuffed animals. The only problem with that is that her bedroom is already pretty full. We have a lot of furniture in here and not a lot of extra space. So I was like, no, I don't want to go with that. I was also thinking the beanbag chair cover, but once again, we really don't have any space for it. I would have had to have gotten rid of her little furry chair, and that's kind of a recent purchase, and she really loves the chair. So I was like, okay, well,
I really don't want to swap out her nice chair for a beanbag chair to fill it with stuffed animals. So it took me a really long time to figure out what to do, but I'm happy that I stumbled across a back of the door organizer because it ended up working out really well. I definitely would recommend it for small stuffed animals. She does have a lot of bigger ones, which was a struggle, but you guys will see what I end up doing. But if you guys have a child that loves little small stuffed animals and you're looking for a way to organize them, definitely recommend a back of the door organizer because it really was like a huge improvement. Like I was able to shove so many into there, so it worked out great. But if you guys saw, that organizer that we have in the closet right now is also full of stuffed animals. So we have lots of storage for stuffed animals. I was, really trying to help her hold on to majority of them. As I mentioned, I do end up getting rid of a few. I was hoping she wouldn't notice. She did notice one for sure. She was asking about it, and I was like, look, because it was a teddy bear, and she had the exact same one. One was in a cream color, one was in a gray color. I got rid of the cream one, and she kept the gray, and she was asking about it, and I was like, look, it was really dirty and dingy looking, so I had to get rid of it. But thankfully she didn't notice too many other ones that I got rid of, so it worked out great, and I just love the way that it ended up turning out, and she was able to hold on to majority of her stuffed animals.
Still got your pearls hanging by my bedside.
So I tried moving this keyboard into the corner, and I was just like, you know what? She really doesn't use it that often. It's just taking up a bunch of space. So I decided to put it at the very top of the closet. That way, if she wants it, we can pull it down, but it's not constantly taking up room.
It's like little surprises every time I move something. So when I pulled this out, we have a nice pile of clothes.
And what's even funnier is when I opened up that suitcase that I thought was empty, it was full of clothes from our last trip. We recently went to a hunting lodge. My husband went hunting, and yeah, she never unpacked it. So I had to go through it. Some of the stuff was from my older daughter, Aubrey, and then some of the things were hers. So I pulled everything out, and then I wanted to put some of her extra bags that she has. She has a little Yoda book bag, and then she also has a purse. So I went ahead and put those bags inside of her suitcase, and then put the suitcase up at the top of the closet. And now I am finally ready to tackle her bed and all of her stuffed animals. Y'all, she had so many blankets on here on top of all of these stuffed animals. Honestly, I have no idea how she slept on here without falling off the bed every night. It was so crazy.
I never knew love could pass. Tomorrow comes and you are not around. Feels uneasy. Oh, Emily, when did you fall right out of love? Oh, Emily, when did the magic stop for us? Oh, but Emily, you are the part of me I feel. It will kill me when you leave it.
I couldn't believe how many stuffed animals she actually had when I pulled them out and stacked them up on the floor. I was like, goodness gracious. But I could finally see her bed, so I could change her sheets. So I did go ahead and put all of the sheets together so I could wash them, get them put away, because she definitely doesn't need that many blankets on her bed. And then since I had everything pulled off, I went ahead and sprayed it down with some Lysol before putting on her flamingo sheets. These are the original sheets that we bought for her bedroom because she initially wanted a flamingo themed bedroom, and we haven't had these on for a little bit, so she was really excited to come home and see her flamingo sheets and comforter back on her bed.
Oh, Emily, when did the magic stop for
We also have the net holder up at the top of the bedroom, but this one is really hard for her because it's a bit too high. It was even hard for me to put some stuffed animals up there because it's pretty high up there. I have to jump to get to them.
Here is the contraption that I bought to go on back of Adrian's closet door. It should pretty much cover the whole back of the door, and then she can stuff her stuffed animals into it. I mean, you guys, look how many she has. I think the bigger ones I'm gonna put into the closet, and then the smaller ones onto this. But let's go ahead, I'm gonna put this together really quick, and then we're gonna hang it on the door.
I'll be sure to link this down in my description. I bought it off of Amazon. It was really affordable and great quality. And what I love about it is the little metal pieces that attach to the door have these like spring thing on them, and it keeps it from moving around, because that was another thing I was worried about, was when she was like opening and closing her door, it was going to be like flopping around and falling off. But this one stays in place. It's doing great. And yeah, like I said, it held so many small stuffed animals. I tried to put the big ones in at first, and it has these like metal bars in the back to hold it straight, and the metal bars kept like popping out. So I was like, okay, that's not gonna work, only the small ones. But thankfully I was able to put the bigger ones in the closet, and then the other ones onto the little mesh thing up at the top, just like the stuffed animals that I knew she doesn't really play with or use as often.
I guess it never hit you. Our conversation takes two, paying it some interest from time to time. Inside all that greatness and all of your adventures, you're all alone. Hold up, baby, I can sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different. Go on, blow up your ego, your undying ego. Oh, look here he goes, stepping on toes.
And then of course I still put some stuffed animals on her bed because she loves sleeping with them. And like I told her, it doesn't matter which one she wants to leave on her bed, as long as she's making sure it's only a few and she's like swapping them out. And she's been doing really good at, you know, keeping only a few on her bed. Finally, in the final stretch, I'm putting all the stuffed animals that we're going to be donating into the bags, getting them out of the bedroom. And then the last thing I needed to do was give the room a really good vacuuming. And oh my gosh, you guys, it was so satisfying to see all these vacuum lines. I can see the floor. I can see her bed again. Best feeling ever. It seriously was just rejuvenating, honestly. Like, I just love a really good declutter and organize. It really does bring me so much joy. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I was debating on getting rid of that massive sloth, but she is so attached to it. I knew that she really wanted me to keep it. I mean, even when I brought it up to her, you could tell she was like getting teary-eyed. So I really wanted to keep it for her, and I'm so happy that I was able to make space for it and have it look nice and neat. But before I show you guys the amazing after shots, we are gonna do a quick overview of the before so you can remember what it looked like before and then after.
Hold me tight through the night.
And here is the moment we've been waiting for, the after shot, the best part of the video. I just love seeing the before and after. So satisfying. But don't click away just yet. At the very end, I'm showing you guys all of the bags of trash and things that I had to donate. It is insane. You will not believe how much stuff I got out of her bedroom.
Still can't believe you love me.
My gosh, you guys, talk about a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. I feel so good. I'm literally sweating right now. That was such a job, but I am so happy that I did it. You guys are not gonna believe how much trash and stuff that I have to donate. Look at that, you guys. That is insane. I have 2 bags of like stuffed animals and blankets, 1 bag of clothes, and then the rest is trash. And I have some more trash right there. These are all of the blankets that was on her bed. That is insane. I did get rid of a few of them because I don't need that many blankets. She doesn't need that many blankets on her bed, but I am gonna be washing all of this and likely folding majority of them, putting them in the closet. She does like to sleep with a lot of stuff, so I'm sure her bed will be cluttered again with blankets. But oh my gosh, I can't believe I got out that much junk out of her room. It's amazing. But that is gonna be it for today's video. I hope it motivated you guys to tackle a cluttered area in your house. If it did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and make sure you check out my decluttering series that I have going on. It is my new 2023. If you guys need some more decluttering motivation, I have tons of videos in there already and more to come. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, I'd love for you to subscribe, join my YouTube family. I upload cleaning motivation every single week and I would love to have you here. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!
I just feel so